Simple past passive exercises. Activity 1. Fill in the blanks passive form. Complete the sentences using the correct past passive form of the verbs in parentheses. 1. The crime report to the authorities by a passerby. 2. The injured victims transport to the nearest hospital by ambulance. 3. Evidence collect from the scene by the police. 4. The suspect's fingerprints find on the stolen vehicle. 5. A police sketch of the suspect create based on witness statements. Activity 2. Match the sentence halves. Match the beginnings of sentences with their appropriate endings. 1. A detailed description of the suspect. A. Was shared with the media. B. Was recovered inside the stolen car. C. Were taken by ambulance. 2. The stolen money. 3. The injured passengers. 4. Traffic on Main Street. D. Was redirected to another route. Activity 3. Error correction. Identify and correct the mistakes in the following passive sentences. 1. The injured peoples was took to the hospital. 3. The stolen money were discovered inside the abandoned car. 4. The accident was reported by a driver passing by. 5. The witnesses was interviewed by the police. 6. The robbers was arrested late that night. Activity 4. Question formation. Write passive voice questions based on a paragraph. 1. What take to the hospital after the accident? 2. Where abandoned the stolen car? 3. Who question by the police after the crime? 4. What caused determine for the accident? 5. How long redirect traffic on Main Street? Activity 5. Active versus passive rewrite. Rewrite the sentences from the paragraph in active voice for practice. Passive. 1. A car accident was reported on Main Street. 2. The injured passengers were taken to the hospital by ambulance. 3. Traffic was redirected by the police. 4. Witness statements were collected by authorities. Activity 6. Sequence correction. Rearrange the events below in the correct sequence based on the paragraph. 1. The injured passengers were taken to the hospital. 2. The area was cleared within 2 hours. 3. A car accident was reported on Main Street. 4. Statements were collected from eyewitnesses. 5. Traffic was redirected by the police. Activity 7. Create your own story. Write a short paragraph about a crime or accident using at least 5 sentences in the past passive voice. Use this example to guide you. A burglary was reported at a local store last night. The security cameras were reviewed by the police. Fingerprints were collected from the scene, and several items were identified as stolen. The stolen goods were later found in an abandoned warehouse. Fortunately, the suspects were arrested within a few hours. Paragraph 1. A robbery was committed at the local bank last night. The alarm was triggered by one of the employees, but the robbers had already escaped when the police were called. Fortunately, no one was harmed during the incident. Several witnesses were questioned by the authorities, and a detailed description of the suspects was provided. A stolen car was found abandoned near the city limits, and the stolen cash was recovered inside it. The investigation was launched immediately, and the suspects were arrested later that evening. Activities. Fill in the blanks. Complete the sentences using the simple past passive form of the verbs in parentheses. 1. A robbery commit at the local store yesterday. 2. The suspects identify by the witnesses. 3. Evidence collect from the crime scene. 2. Change to passive voice. Rewrite the sentences in the passive voice. 1. The police arrested the suspects. 2. Someone stole the money. 3. Witnesses described the robbers. 3. True or false. Read the paragraph and decide if the following statements are true or false. 1. The alarm was triggered by the robbers. 2. The stolen car was abandoned near the bank. 3. The suspects were arrested later that evening. 4. Question creation. Create questions using the passive voice about the paragraph. For example, 1. What was recovered from the stolen car? 2. Who was questioned by the police? 5. Rewriting. Rewrite the paragraph in the active voice for comparison. Paragraph 2. A car accident was reported on Main Street yesterday afternoon. 2 vehicles were involved, and both cars were severely damaged. The injured passengers were taken to the hospital by ambulance. Traffic was redirected by the police, and the area was cleared within 2 hours. Statements were collected from eyewitnesses, and the cause of the accident was determined to be speeding. Fortunately, no lives were lost. Activities. 1. Fill in the blanks, passive form. Complete the sentences using the verbs in parentheses in the simple past passive voice. 1. The accident report by a passerby. 2. The injured passengers take to the hospital. 3. Traffic redirect by the authorities. 2. Match the sentence halves. Match the beginning of each sentence with a correct ending. 1. The injured passengers A. were redirected by the police. B. were taken to the hospital. C. were severely damaged. 2. Traffic. 3. Both cars. 3. Error correction. Identify and correct the errors in these passive sentences. 1. The eyewitnesses was questioned by the police. 2. The injured passengers was taken to the hospital. 3. The cars were repaired before the report was finished. 4. Question formation. Write questions about the paragraph in the passive voice. For example, where was the accident reported? Who was taken to the hospital? How long was the area blocked? 5. Active versus passive rewrite. Rewrite the paragraph in the active voice. For example, passive, a car accident was reported on Main Street. Active, someone reported a car accident on Main Street. 6. Sequence correction. Rearrange the events from the paragraph in the correct order. 1. The injured passengers were taken to the hospital. 2. The cause of the accident was determined to be speeding. 3. A car accident was reported on Main Street. 4. Traffic was redirected by the police. 7. Create your own story. Write your own short paragraph about a crime or accident using at least 5 sentences in the past passive voice. Then, have a partner identify the passive structures in your writing. Thanks for watching.